Welcome back to another edition of the Gulf Coast Growth Show. I'm here with a friend of mine, old acquaintance who's back in the area now, Victor Ortega. Victor is the Executive Vice President of Operations with Covestro, Executive Vice President of North American Operations with Covestro, Victor and I see each other kind of around the industry over time, and it's great to have him back in the region. I think we ran into each other earlier this year at Chemicals Day, probably up in Austin. And so I said, hey, I want to get you on the show and make sure everybody gets a chance to meet you and get to know him. So welcome to the show. Welcome. I think you said this is your 1-year anniversary of being back in Baytown. Right. So welcome, and it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be here. Yeah.
Good deal. Well, let's jump right in. Let's learn a little bit about Victor. His career has taken him around the world. He's a chemical engineer. So we'll start with that. So what attracted you to chemical engineering, and then kind of take us through the career arc that took you around the world and back here to Baytown?
Okay, I mean, I have to go back very much in time because it's a very long time ago. So, Chad, honestly, I just was dragged to chemical engineers by chance. I didn't know when I was, say 17, 18 years old. You didn't know, actually.
Most of us don't know what we want to do then anyway.
But it sounded so interesting just to be able to create things, you know. And chemistry and chemical, it was also something that I like. So that's how I started.
Excellent.
But being from South Spain, you very soon realized there is not that much industry there. Oil and gas doesn't exist in South Spain. It's like some limited places. So I decided to study German. You know, it's a kind of one of these moments in life that define your whole career by chance. I decided to study Germany because in Europe, Germany is just the core of the chemical industry.
Yeah.
I got an internship by Bayer, and I will say that I'm a one-man company. Fresh from school, I joined Bayer and later on Covestro with the spin-off in 2015.
So for our American audience, it doesn't have the really cool Spanish accent that Victor has. He is saying Bayer, and we in America recognize that as the Bayer aspirin, right?
Right.
So I wish I had his accent, but Bayer, right, was the original company before it became Covestro, exactly. Correct? Okay,
exactly.
So excellent.
There are many companies that are carved out from Bayer.
Yeah.
So Lanxess, for example, Covestro. And then we still have some kind of ties, so we feel together in certain aspects. So then I joined Covestro, Bayer, directly in this internship in Germany. And short after, I got my first permanent job in Spain.
Yeah.
And then I started just moving from process engineer to maintenance engineer. I came to Baytown first time as a process engineer. That was my...
What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome. Awesome. You know, I didn't know what we have here in the Gulf Coast. You know, the moment you just landed, come on.
As a chemical engineer, you come to Houston, right? One, it's Texas. Two, it's Houston, kind of our largest really petrochemical complex. So kind of like the great place to be for a chemical engineer, right?
And you know, this have something that hook you up. I mean, then you want to stay there. I mean, it's impressive the way we work. The challenge suddenly is just not the small things that you are talking about big league. You know, you're talking big projects, big problems, big issues. So that's had something. But career in these companies, you know, and I appreciate these kind of companies because they offer you always opportunities. They offer me to go back to Europe, to Spain in a different position, starting as manager. And a few years later, back to Baytown.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first time we met. I was heading the maintenance and engineering department here in Baytown for Covestro. And apparently I was doing a good job because they offered me a site management position in Germany.
Yeah.
So, and I need to say that. One day, it was in the middle of Corona, you know.
Yes.
And one day my boss called me and said, Victor, how is your German? You can imagine. It had been 20 years that I didn't speak German. And he said, okay, I can order a beer. Then
I can order a beer.
I'm gonna have a place for you. Then. No, don't worry, all your direct reports are gonna speak English, so that's not an issue. Okay, I came there. Honestly, only a couple of people in the whole site spoke English, so it was a very nice challenge. On the
so you had to brush up on your German. Oh man,
unbelievable! You know? I have plenty of of comments, anecdotes that I can tell you, but we're not going to we're not going to bore your audience about that. But then after these 3 years, leading one of the biggest sites in Germany for Covestro, so I came back to Baytown this time as plant manager.
Yeah.
And at the same time, as Baytown is our biggest site, we also lead the rest of the organization in North America.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that. I
Thank
mean,
you.
you like you said, you're obviously doing something right because they keep moving you up the responsibility ladder. So you're doing a good job there. And at least your English is really good. So I love, you got the great accent, but your English is really good. Probably easier to order a beer here than in Germany.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So that's good insight of the career. Now you mentioned, you were born and raised in Spain.
Yes.
So give us a little bit of insight. How was that? Tell us about your family, hobbies. Take us back to Spain.
Yeah. Okay. So back in the time that I studied, so I was kind of pioneer in most of our generation in Spain. People born in the 70s. We didn't have much chance of going to college, university before that time, but it was a boom, and everybody was going to college. So I was the first one in my family to go there, which is always a little bit pressure.
Yeah,
a lot of responsibility on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So, but then
carrying the flag for the family.
Yeah. But the challenge was nice, and growing up in Spain is what I told you before. Is just you realize that it's not that much industry. Mm-hmm. That eventually, in one point of your growth history, you realize you're gonna need to immigrate. Yeah. You're gonna need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Normally, from Spain, you go to North Spain. There's more heavy industry there. Mm-hmm. But in my case, as I told you, so I went to Germany.
Yeah.
And I like the experience. I like the experience so much that I came back like 20 years later, you know? So I grew up just playing basketball.
Really?
Coaching basketball.
Nice.
And now you mentioned what are my hobbies, if you're going to ask me later. One of the things is that I have a teenager now, and I'm playing basketball every single day. So my knees are still holding, but this is what I love to do right now.
Very good. And Spain's known for its good basketball team,
I'm glad you appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you appreciate that. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And so... your teenagers here in Baytown.
Both my whole family is here, of course. So actually, we have some issues with my little one because he barely speaks Spanish, even though that's the language we speak at home.
Yes.
So and then where are you from? Because it's very difficult to address where he is right now. So, but
very good. Well, I can relate to the love of basketball. I've had my brothers were basketball players. I played football, and now I coach a little football too. Not my son now, but my grandson in his youth football. So that's always a lot of fun. It's just a joy to get to spend that time with your son.
And there is so much learning. Just not only just seeing people grow, like you see your son, but this is something at the end that you bring back home. You bring back to work. This is how to develop people, how to make teams truly working together.
Yes.
Knowing when to play offense, when to play defense. That's very important also on the business side.
Yeah, that plays right into work. So excellent. Well, good deal. That gives everybody a good chance to get to know you a little bit better. Something we'll have to talk about later. Okay, so Covestro, great company, interesting, kind of history, if you will. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about this facility in Baytown. What do you make? What do you make it from? And then what does it go into, or what is it used for after it leaves your facility?
Okay. So first, I will say that our facility is not very well known in Baytown. We are between 1405 and 146, between these two roads, and we are surrounded by woods, by trees. We have even deers there. Yeah. So it's not allowed to hunt there. Okay.
Yeah.
So people in the community, unless they are very much focused on, very much and close with us, they don't see us. We are not the big refineries that you have around in Baytown. So we are downstream business, if you may. We are not producing anything related to oil, but we are using downstream product from the oil. So mostly benzene, phenol. We are also getting CO and many other steam also generated from some other parties. And then what we do is precursor for polymers. We do isocyanate, polycarbonates. We do coatings, adhesive. That at the end of the day just go in everyday application. We used to say that you are no more than 3 feet out of any product that has Covestro components on products, you know?
Exactly.
So, for example, our isocyanates go to foams, could be flexible foams like your car seats, your mattress,
Yep.
or could be hard foams like you have in the insulation panels, for example. All these things are produced in Baytown. Polycarbonate, all the light fixtures in your car, for example. Lightweight materials that are right now really necessary for the climate change, climate protection. So this kind of things. So obviously coatings, adhesive, and a lot of other polymers are manufactured.
Really, almost everything, like you say, you're 3 feet away from products that Covestro has contributed to.
Just name it, your textile, your shoes, you name it, your cell phone.
Yeah.
We are around 1,100 people working in Baytown, Covestro, plus all the contractors. So it's not a small site.
No, that's a good. It's a big facility. Well, and that's one of the messages that we're trying to tell all of our members and really the greater Houston area this year is that what we make here along the port region, along the Houston Ship Channel, are things that make our quality of life. Everything from safety to health to food preservation to medical to automotive, construction, all of those products that make our ability to live a great quality of life, and really people all around the world, it comes from our industry. And a lot of people don't realize that. And that's one of the reasons I wanted you to talk about your products, because it's important to know where it comes from. Right, and how we make those products, and how important it is not only for the jobs that we create, but for the general quality of life of everybody around the world. So
absolutely,
absolutely. Very good. Okay, so tell me a little bit, Executive Vice President, Operations North America. Give us, what's your biggest challenge now that you face, and then follow that up with what's the most enjoyable thing about your job.
Okay, let me start with the challenge. So I think the challenge is not only limited to us, Covestro, or our sites in North America. It's just the whole industry. It's the competitiveness. We face fierce competition from Far East. With uneven game rules, most likely. Okay, and we see that we need to keep up to speed. We need to improve our productivity, our competitiveness, better cost, better regulation that keep the industry up to speed. I could say, for example, digitalization and the use of AI for improving process conditions, to increase capacity, to the bottleneck units. That's going to be necessary just to compete with some others that are bringing products directly or indirectly to the country, and this is one of the things that are concerning us the most. This one, and probably I see down the road, if we just look into 10, 20 years, I think we're going to have a labor shortage that we have to get ready for. We need to improve the quality of all our employees, all our facilities, and we have to stay competitive. That's probably what is keeping me awake.
Yeah, and that feeds back into the advantage that some in the other side of the world in Asia have over us is a cheaper labor force, because they can put so many people on into a facility or on projects, and then that's probably compounded by, and a lot of people, I talk about this a lot, but a lot of people don't realize that. If we're competing, our companies are global in nature, but they're competing really on without a lot of government subsidizations or assistance, and with a labor force that we are having to develop here. It's one of our initiatives at the Economic Alliance. But if you've got a country that not only can push a lot of people into that labor force and then subsidize it, those prices become hard for us, the rest of the world, to compete against, right? So Absolutely. You're right. It's efficiency, it's technology, it's workforce. Those are those cost centers that we can be more competitive in, that we have to be in the future to be able to continue to produce the products we do successfully here.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the challenge, but this is also the beauty of the job. That is leading a team of people who truly understand that this is the situation and are
Yeah.
coming with amazing ideas every day.
Yeah.
You know, and the
It really
ingenuity.
drives ingenuity, creativity, all those things.
So that's why I think we have a brilliant future. North America, the US, Texas have a brilliant future because of the people that we are having in our processes. The engineers that we get, they are amazing. You know, they are able just to find solutions. They are able to find the next level of process technology. Really easy, and that's why I'm optimistic.
Yeah, what a great message. That's a great. It's a great way to look at it, but it's a reflection of the people that you get to work with in this industry. It's fantastic. All right, so tell me real quickly what do you enjoy most about your work, about what you do?
So it's very nice just when I go to the office in the morning, and then just going to the coffee machine, and the first coffee, there is always somebody there. I say, Victor, have you think about this? No, let's gonna talk about that. I mean, just trying to put a funnel of all these ideas, to all this creativity, to all this challenge. I mean, you see the passion. You know, this is for me one. It's been always like that. Just not only now that I on the corner office on the plant. It's been always like that. The maintenance guy said, Victor, but if we just improve this here, if just we just change the way we are aligning this palm, it's been always amazing. You know, and this is for me the most encouraging thing. And there is not some other things that are not that good. Okay, so I will say obviously safety. You know, even though we have a good record, this call that you receive one day, that's that. Even though that may be something getting in your eye. You know, or something major, but this is the biggest concern always.
It's a heavy responsibility for guys like you to carry, because I know you're worried about all your people. You want everybody to go home safe every day, and it's probably a constant concern, obviously.
And you know, we are like a family, even though we say that we are 1,000 people. At the end of the day, most of us know each other for so many years. You know, that it's a family. It's a family. It's really there with our contractors. It's just we work hand in hand with them for so many years. So that's a big responsibility, I will say, just making sure that everybody goes back home the same way they came.
I love your leadership and the way that you think of the joy of working with creative people, problem solving, and then that care you have for your family, basically your work family, if you will. Very good, very good.
If I may, Chad, there is something that I don't like it, and today is an example, is this 5 a.m. calls, global calls, just to make sure that the Chinese, the Germans, and the Americans are on the same call. I hate them. They destroy my day on a Monday.
Yeah, that would be a little rough. Consequences of being a global company,
exactly.
Right?
Just kidding.
All right, so let's talk about Covestro here locally. Their commitment to things like community and safety and sustainability. You touched on it a little bit, but tell us a little bit about Covestro's kind of community involvement and their commitment towards sustainability.
Okay, let's start with sustainability. So as a company, we have very clear targets. You know, we want to become climate neutral or defossilize with no emission of CO2, extra emission CO2 from our process by 2035. This is pretty ambitious. You know, we keep working on that. That's not only a benefit for whatever we do operations, this is generally a benefit for all the industry because it's showing the way in some aspects, some technology development that we're doing, recycling products and so on. And here in particular in Baytown, we are working diligently on that, reducing our energy consumption. That is always a plus, not only on the business side, but also just reducing our CO2 footprint. This is always important. And we are working on stabilizing our process, eliminating waste, basically, you know, being able to recycle some of our residue at the end of the process, just to generate syngas, for example, to just put it back in the change. This is something that we continue to do toward this objective of 2035. This is what keeps us also working every day. With the community, we have a lot of touch points, let's say. Just not only this year, we are targeting to get 10,000 voluntary hours in the community.
Hours,
and for each hour that we're doing, the company is donating $100 on let's say, food and to the community.
That's outstanding.
That's an example of how embraced we are. we keep having a relationship with all especially in Baytown. We are members of ECMA, we are members of TCC, we are members of A, we are members of ACC. So we help the community in this aspect on developing the industry and also obviously taking care for those that are in biggest need.
Very good. Very good. Well, Covestro is a great company, long history, great products, obviously touching what we our lives every day. I think what's great to hear is the excitement you have for the industry, the kind of the passion that your employees show of always trying to do things better and find better ways to do things. That's so rewarding. And then that family atmosphere, that care for your coworkers, and then that outreach into the community as well, right? So Covestro is doing a great job. We're lucky to have you back here in Baytown. I hope we get to keep you for a while.
For many, many years, yes.
Hope that basketball playing son of yours continues to develop. That'll be fun to watch as well. Yeah, Victor, it's great to have you. I appreciate your time, appreciate what you do and your leadership here in the region. And we just look forward to working with you over the years. Anything that the Economic Alliance can do to help serve Covestro, we're here for it. So we appreciate it.
I appreciate it back. Thank you very much.
All right. With that, we'll wrap up this edition of the Gulf Coast Growth Show. If you have a chance to meet with Victor in and around the region, take the opportunity. What a great guy and a great message, great leader for this industry. So with that, we'll say so long and we'll see you next time.